Postgame from the Crest Center following tonight's 74-62 loss at Green Bay. Coach, if you want to take a snapshot of your team from the whole year, you could almost put it right in the second half tonight. They never gave up, but just every time we would get it down to 9, 8, 7 points, Green Bay would push back.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the mark of Green Bay. I mean, they're an amazing team. Obviously the best team in our league with how they finished out. And the mark of our team is that we don't quit and that we will fight to the finish no matter what. And I couldn't be more proud of this group. I told them in the locker room that I wouldn't trade any single one of them for any other player in the country. We changed Milwaukee basketball. We changed the culture of Milwaukee basketball. And I know as years come, we'll be in more situations like this where we're going to be victorious.
You could just flexible game plan tonight kind of seemed to change on the fly, but it certainly worked the whole night. But just like I said before, you just couldn't catch Green Bay down the stretch.
Yeah, and we fouled a little too much out of it, especially in the first half. I felt like we put them on the foul line too much. And that's something that, you want to say, you want to learn from and build on for the next game, but there are no more next games. I thought that our team was really locked into our game plan, and I thought that Kaylee Lucan really stepped up for them and really played some amazing minutes. She's somebody that we, made a focal point to make her have to shoot from the outside, and she didn't bait herself into that. She put her head down and had some really nice takes to the basket, got to the free throw line quite a bit. And so, when you have a player like that, or even a couple players like that, it's hard they become very hard to defend because they have such good shooters on the perimeter with Buck and Marin and stuff. So we had to pick our battles, and unfortunately in the first half we couldn't score, which was the name of the game. You got to put points in the basket on the other end, especially when teams are going on runs.
4 players in double figures. Balanced scoring continued tonight, led by your seniors. Ashley Green goes out with a double-double. Macy Darrow almost gets up to her career high. Talk about the 2 seniors on the court tonight.
Well, I think one of the ways you got to be able to beat, if you want to beat Green Bay, is you got to be able to hit shots from the outside. And Ashley, we knew that she was going to be taken away in the paint, that she was going to have 2-3 people on her anytime she caught it in there, and they did a great job of that. They made some of our shooters have to hit shots, and we were cold in the first half, and then Macy kind of came on in the second half, which really pushed us into a bump. I think that we cut it to 7 at one point before we made a few errors on the defensive end, and she had some big shots for us. She stepped up like a senior should step up, and she's had that in her all season. She's had these games where she just comes through for us in certain possessions, and she played her heart out tonight, especially in that second half. I mean, she wanted that game so bad, as did Ashley, and we just needed to hit a few more of those threes during that stretch, during that run.
So then just final question, you had 3 seniors on the team this year. Let's not even talk about their play on the court, just kind of what those 3 seniors meant to you.
Well, here's where I'm going to get emotional, since I just cried my eyes out in the locker room. The first thing I did when I went in the locker room after the game was I wrote legacy on the board, and we talked a lot about what does legacy mean, and legacy isn't always about winning and losing. Green Bay clearly has a legacy of those championships. I think that our seniors have a legacy of teaching what Milwaukee basketball is going to be for the future. And my first 2 years here, it was a struggle to get to that point, and we finally had a group that really locked in and said that they were going to believe in what we were going to do, and that group is going to be remembered for years to come. They're going to be talked about for years to come because they changed the culture. The younger players and the players that are coming in next year know what it takes to fight, know what it takes to believe in a family system. And I know that, like I said, Macy and Ashley and Hannah are all going to be coming back, and we're going to welcome them with open arms at any opportunity that they can. But they're going to be known by name. Like I said, 10 years from now, the players are going to know who they are because this is now Milwaukee basketball.
Thanks, Coach.